Today we're working on a 2005 Land Rover Range Rover. Customer complaint is no heater controls or AC controls are working. And right away I have the car started up, so everything should be powered. You can see down here the lights light up, but nothing in the HVAC control unit. Even no buttons work, nothing changes. So we'll take a look, see why it's not getting any power. Could be simple like a fuse or more complicated, but we'll dig into it and see what we find. The fuses are in the glove box, so you take the glove box and just pull it all the way down, and then you have this panel here, and then all your fuses reside in there. And then you can read the chart. The HVAC is AC here, F12. You have a 10 amp, and then down here 7.5 amp, F34. So those have already been checked, known good. So we're gonna go ahead and continue the diagnostic, getting access to the back of this. To pull this out, you have these two trim pieces on either side. And to get the trim off, there's one screw back here. Right here is a Torx, and that Torx is a T20. So there's one on this side, just one. And then the other side has just that one on the bottom. And then this panel, you can pull it from here, it just pops off, and that's it. So same on the other side, just pops off after you take that one off, and then I'll get the other side off, and then I'll show you how to just pull the rest of it out. Pretty simple. So once those panels are off, it looks like you have to take these off, but you don't. You could leave those in. It's not part of the unit, is just part of the bracketing. Really, it's just a matter of pulling it out, and it'll just slide out. I'll do it two-handed, but oh, one hand is good. And you can see how it's held in with these little tabs. So that's it. So now we can pull it. I'll probably pull this back just to get better access to the wiring and stuff, but that's it. So now we can go ahead and find our powers, find our grounds, and check those to make sure it's capable of getting power. So this is with the unit pulled out. I didn't have to move the shifter back. It was just able to kind of maneuver around. They give you plenty of wires to mess with. These are the connectors. There's 4 connectors. On the wiring diagram for the powers and grounds, we have, they're kind of mixed in there. So we'll start with this connector, then this connector, then kind of go down for that. So let me look at the wiring diagram just to make sure which wires are which. All right, I have my test light hooked up to battery negative, so anything I touch that is power will light up the light. And I recommend getting a test light with an incandescent bulb, because you want to know if your wires can hold a current. So if you're testing with just a voltmeter, multimeter, sometimes you can have voltage, but there's not enough of that wire making contact to carry a current. So something like a test light I recommend for powers and ground checks. So on this first connector, we're looking for this red and blue. On this second connector, we're looking for the red and purple. So we'll go ahead and check those real quick. And these are our powers. You can see we have power there, and then we have power there. So these two connector powers are good. Our next power is in this blue connector. To get it off, normally it's locked like that. You push this tab down and then this gray lever forward, and it'll come out. If you notice on the bottom, it has pin numbers. Starting on the bottom right here is 1 to 13, and then 14 to 26. Our power is pin 1. And the reason why I pulled it out to look is because there's no real place to back probe without pulling this apart. So, and then piercing the wire, that's up to you, but this is easy for me. So it's pin number 1 that we want power, and that's power in the run positions. We want to turn the key on to find power here. If you don't have an electrical test kit, you can use like a sewing needle or something really fine to poke in there. You just don't want to jam anything big in there, because you can spread the terminals apart inside. So something that's the right size or a little smaller is fine. Key in the on position, and we have power. So that's our power checks. it's getting power the way it should. So let's go ahead and look at our ground to make sure our ground is good. It appears to be only one ground on this, and that's this brown one here and the black connector. So I have my test light to battery positive. There we go. So we got good grounds and good powers. Upon further inspection of this board, you can see right next to that connector, it's pretty charred. Either way, that's confirmation that this unit's bad, and we're getting our powers and grounds. Hopefully it didn't take out any of these other lines here. I tried getting this connector off, and it's pretty well glued. So when we get a new unit, I'm going to go ahead and get a new connector as well. So that's the diagnosis of this. I'm going to go ahead and install the new one so you can see the fix. So this is the new unit. Got it off of eBay, and it came with all its connectors. So that's really cool that I got the unit and the connector together. So hopefully this is a good unit. It is used. The dealer wanted $1,200 for one of these, which is, that's crazy. But either way, there's plenty of these on eBay. So if you have an issue with yours, you find that your powers, grounds are good, and you want to toss in a unit, then you can find these on eBay. Quite plentiful. Let's go ahead. I'm going to have to rewire in this new wire here. I won't go through the process of that. I'm just going to solder. They left a little pigtail enough to solder on. So that's what I'll do. We'll get it plugged in, and then hopefully it'll turn on. All right, just have it resting there. Turn the key on. Just start it up. So there we go. Temperature control. Different temperatures, or speeds, I mean, of the fan. Auto. Recirculation. Seems to work. Let's see if I can hear a yeah, so that works. I can hear the change. Well, it looks like we're working. Sweet, so that was a simple fix. It was just plug and play. Just another tip, this is the used unit that I got, and you can see how it's kind of scuffed up in places, but the old unit looks a lot better. And if that's in your situation, what you could do is these separate. So this whole gray face cover comes off. This is what it looks like tabbed in. So you lift up on this black piece here, right here, you lift up on it, and then that'll slide out like that, and this whole faceplate comes off, and then you can just replace it. So don't worry about what this cover looks like if you're getting it, you know, used from eBay or wherever. Don't worry about it, because you can always just put your better looking one on. Another thing to keep in mind, you can see right here how that's dusty like that. Let me pull this out and show you. Right there, this thing has a cooling fan, just like a computer. So that would be a good thing to do, is clean that up with maybe some compressed air or Q-tip or whatever, so that this can cool properly. That's it. Thanks for watching. Putting it together is just the opposite. So we'll slap this in. It'll kind of clip itself in, and then the side covers will go on first, and then just that one screw, and you're done. So awesome. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. See you on the next one.